Well, all right. Welcome, everybody, to this episode of Shirley Talk. I'm Mike Mulrooney.
I'm Kelly Duckworth.
And Kelly, we do this every time. Are you in the medical field?
No.
Doctor, psychologist? You give me advice a lot.
No.
No. EMT? Attorney?
Nope.
Yeah, we just had an
Definitely not
attorney. We just had an attorney. Yeah, or an accountant. No tax advice. So
No.
we point that out because if you hear something that we say today, get professional advice. We're not here to give you, we're not professionals of anything, really. Just we
gaming.
Yeah, gaming. I think we've kind of figured that one out for sure. But again, get professional advice. If you hear us say something about taxes, medical, medicine, doctors, don't take our word for it. Get it checked out before you run with it. And let's get to our guests. Today we have Miss Sandy and Mr. Scott Shannon here. How you doing?
Fine. Hello.
Doing fine, thank you.
So what's the relationship here? Mother, son? Is that
mother-son?
Yes. I knew that. I just wanted to bring it up. So we had you all here because Scott, I've watched your cancer journey for a while, and you all posted, and Sandy, I think it was you, about a week or so ago, and I reached out because obviously Shirley's Way, we help people who are fighting cancer with medical and stuff like that, and I was shocked. And I've been telling people this stuff, and I get the, oh, no, that's not true. You know, there's no way they can charge that much because this world still thinks that just because you're sick with cancer that the hospitals and doctors have to heal you. That's not the case.
No.
They can keep you comfortable, but they're not required to save your life. So what did your post say the other day, Sandy? Do you remember it? I know you remember it, but you remember what you said?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was just talking about the ungodly amount that we were going to have to pay for this pill that he was going to have to take.
One pill?
Well, he takes 4 pills a day.
Yeah.
But it's the same prescription. It's just 250 milligrams each.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's I don't know. Can we mention names of?
I don't care.
Okay, the name of the drug is Zytiga.
Okay.
But when we went to the doctor and they told us that this was going to be what he had to take, they stepped out of the office. So I took up my phone and Googled it.
Okay.
And I was just in shock.
Before we get to that, Scott,
Yes,
so
sir.
what kind of cancer do you have?
I have prostate that we didn't catch in time. It metastasis to the bone, so I've got stage 4 bone and prostate cancer.
So how did you find out you had prostate cancer? Was you just feeling sick to your stomach, having some pain in that area, or what?
Well, my last job, I worked a Saturday half day.
Okay.
And come home and took a shower and laid down on the couch. I was supposed to go pick up my 2 children because it was my weekend, and I got up from my nap and fell immediately to the ground. I couldn't stand up. So I called them, my mom, my stepfather, had them take me to the emergency room. They couldn't find anything. They kept saying it was bursitis. They was going to take me off work for a week here, 3 weeks here, another week here. And
How long ago was this?
2016.
Okay, so you've been dealing with this since 2016. You went in some problems. And how long did it take them to diagnose? So they just start saying it's bursitis and all this kind of stuff.
Well, they kept taking me off for weeks at a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there, and I told them,
what do you do for a living?
We're building stadium seats.
Okay.
For like Indianapolis Motor Speedway and things like that.
Did you do the Yum Center and Cardinal Stadium?
No, I wasn't a part for that one.
Okay, so you're building stadium seats. So you've went through how many doctor's visits roughly? Probably 10, 20 before they finally figured out what you had?
Probably more than that. And then
Quite a few. What they did is at first he was in a car accident when he was a senior in high school.
Okay.
He has rods in his back. And the doctors then told us that he would probably have arthritis in his back when he got older. So we kind of thought that's what it was. So they
lower extremity pain. Kind of, I guess, makes sense.
Yeah. So they sent him, like they did physical therapy. And they sent him to that, I think, about 2 or 3 sessions. And it just kept getting worse. And then actually we'd been to a bone doctor or an orthopedic doctor. And he did bone scans and x-rays, things like that. And he called us into the office and told us that he didn't like what he saw in his back. He said he really felt like it could be cancer.
So how many months after the original pain that you remember? Do you remember several months, couple months?
It was in October.
Okay.
And I guess the pain really got bad in June and July.
yeah.
But cancer probably was never on your radar.
No, never.
Yeah.
Never. We just saw arthritis the
Yeah.
whole time.
If we get anything wrong with us, we immediately are like, oh my gosh, we have cancer.
Yeah.
Like that's the first thing we jump to
Well,
now.
I think of that myself now,
Yeah,
but
now.
I didn't then.
Right.
Yeah, it's horrible. We do. We turned into a mini hype. Well, I'm not a mini. She's a mini hypochondriac. So,
Yeah.
but did you have any weight loss or anything?
Not at that time. No, I was 260 pounds.
Well, I was
you
going to
know.
say, I'm always joking with my doctor, and he said, look, stop coming in here thinking you got cancer. Have you lost weight? I said, does it look like it? And they said, no. So that's the reason why I asked, because he said if you have something like that, you'll probably see some unexplained weight loss. So that wasn't it. Wasn't even in the picture,
No.
weight loss.
No.
Just thought it was
not-
back pain, I mean,
So started in June, July. This is October. Still nothing. And then all of a sudden the doctor says, I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
Right. The orthopedic doctor said he didn't like it. So he said, I suggest you make an appointment with an oncologist. So we did, and that appointment was set
Did
for...
you know what an oncologist was?
Yes.
I didn't. When my mom got sick, and I had no idea what they were saying.
Well, I knew because my mother had had lung
Okay.
cancer years ago.
Okay.
But so we made an appointment with this oncologist for November the 10th. Well, November the 8th was election day for the president that year. And Scott wanted
Trump
to vote.
rain.
Yeah.
So I took him over to the polls to vote, and he was in so much pain and so weak, I barely got him back out to the car. In fact, some man helped us get him into the car. So we called his family doctor to see if he could give us some kind of pain medication until we could get to the oncologist on Thursday. And he suggested we go to the emergency room.
Yeah, because doctors don't give out pain medicine
No.
anymore.
No.
Because all these drug addicts have abused us. So the people that need it can't even
Can
get
get
it.
Exactly.
Can't even buy freaking Sudafed
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
without a blood sample and an ID.
exactly.
Thanks, crackheads out there. Okay. So November 10th, and you go
Well-
to the election, and
Well, it was
you
actually
vote.
November the 8th.
Okay.
He voted.
They got you in the car.
Got you in the car. We called the doctor while in the car, and he suggested we go to the emergency room. So I took him immediately to the hospital, and they went ahead and called in the oncologist to do tests and things for him. And we met him then, I guess it was November the 9th, the next day. He came into the hospital room and said he did not have all the test results back, but his PSA test was back. And I guess you know the PSA level is supposed to be 4 or below. His was at 1,730.
Oh my goodness.
The Dr. Driscoll said he had never seen a number that high. And
So, okay. So June, July, August, September, October, November. I'm not good at math. Kelly's a
Yeah.
mathematician. So we're looking at 6 months. Did you ask the doctor and say if you'd have caught this in June or July, would it have been a different outcome?
you know, I did, but they kind of say, they kind of throw up their hands and say, don't go to what ifs.
Oops.
Yeah, because it will drive you crazy.
And I don't want to blame a doctor, but I mean, if you'd have found this in June or July, at what point do we start doing a little extra testing? Especially, did you know Kentucky's one of the highest states for cancer?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I do now. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
So given that, and where we live is a highest rate of cancer in the state, I believe. Don't get professional advice, but I know it's high. But given that, but I know the answer to this question. Insurance probably wouldn't pay for cancer tests in June or July until they ran you through the ringer for 6 months, and then they're okay. I guess we'll have to pay for that test.
yeah, they didn't want to pay for MRIs or anything.
I bet they
just,
wouldn't, especially in June or July when
Yeah.
you got I just keep thinking it's got to be cheaper at the beginning to do these tests instead of waiting till it's too late.
Mhm.
So they said don't do the what ifs, and I'm sure they're all running through your head. What if we'd have
yeah.
caught it and did this test in June or July? Would we be in this situation?
Well, they tell you, or they advise men to have this, this PSA test after age 50.
And I've never had one.
Yeah. And Scott was only 46
Yeah.
46 at the time.
Yeah, they advise women on after a certain age for mammograms. And how old was Charlie when she died?
28.
How old was Laura Thompson when she died? You don't know Laura. Laura was 35 or 36.
Yeah, I think the age was 40, and it's 10 years
Yeah.
like previous if you have family history or
Yeah.
something.
So my point is,
Well,
Really?
I tell all the guys that I know, hey, man, I know you're 30 years old, but it can't hurt to go get checked.
Yep.
I said, it can-
Colonoscopy.
The worst I can tell you is
Colonoscopy.
no.
Yeah, colonoscopy. Well, I don't know what the age is, but Amanda, we had her in here. I don't think Amanda, she might be 40 something
yeah.
years old. Another girl, Jessica, her mom died from it. She was probably in her 40s. When do we say enough's enough? But who do we get to make that decision? But it's sad. So at this point in November, you've been diagnosed. I guess in November, they finally diagnosed it as prostate cancer.
Yes.
And at that point, was it in the bones? You said it's in the bones at this
Yes.
point.
Right. It had already metastasized to the bone. And actually, the doctor did tell us, I don't think June or July would have helped on him. He said this had been growing in him with his PSA level being that high, that this had to be going on for years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, we never paid him. He always had back problems.
I just dealt with it, with back pain. I've got 3 steel rods screwed in my spine, Oh, it's back pain. Just take a leave, deal with it.
I'm going to call and get a prostate test tomorrow just to make
PSA.
sure.
It's a
Yeah,
good
whatever
idea.
that is, the PSA.
Yeah.
It's just sad. It really is. So, okay, you've got this diagnosis. Now what? Do they immediately start doing chemo and radiation or?
Radiation started immediately.
Right.
In fact,
They took
don't
me from
do
the
it.
hospital.
Yeah, they don't do it at the hospital he was in, but they took him by ambulance or carrier
ambulance.
over to suburban hospital, and that's where he had his radiation. And
So that day.
it was, I think, the next day he
Yeah.
started. He had a port put in because they were going to start chemo, but the chemo didn't actually start until December.
Did they tell you that it was going to have any effect on your cancer at all, or they just say, let's give it a try?
They
Well-
didn't. I mean,
Actually, the day that they came in and we started the chemo, the nurse came into the room with us and she had papers for him to sign, and she's, we asked her, said, what are these papers for? And she said, this is to say that you acknowledge that you know that this treatment is not going to cure you. And I just broke down.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
That's when I
It's-
said,
Yeah.
"Well, hell with that. I'm not doing
I'm not
this.
doing
I'm
it.
not.
Not
I'm not going
gonna
to go
do it."
through that.
Yeah.
The tasting and just the hair falling out and the weakness and just killing me.
How old are you?
I'm 51. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But
Don't say it. I'm that age too.
but the doctor did come in. Well, the doctor's assistant, physician assistant, came in and talked to us because he was refusing treatment. And he came in, and the way he compared this, he said, it's true that this is not going to cure you, but compare it to diabetes. It's something that we can treat, something that, as long as you're on your medication or treatment, that you should be able to live a pretty normal life. And he said, in fact, he was the same age as Scott, and he said, I'll tell you what, he said, when you get to be 65, he said, I want you to come back in here, and we're going to go out and have a beer together.
Well, that's pretty confident of the
That was
doctor to say
confident.
that.
Yeah.
But, so you start your treatments, and did the stack of bills start rolling in?
Actually, we've been pretty fortunate with that. He's on Medicare disability, his Social Security disability, so they've covered most of it.
Except for the those recent posts that
Yeah.
you made about, and we're circling back around to that.
Right.
So you've went through how many months of treatments of chemo and radiation?
I went through more radiation than I did chemo.
I don't even know the difference. The chemo's the poison, and the radiation is the burn laser, I
Yeah.
guess, where it's trying to, like a chisel of some sort.
The radiation is more of a pinpoint.
Okay.
Like he has hot spots, is what they call them, that pop up. And so when he gets those, then he has to go in for the radiation.
Okay.
But the chemo started in December and went through about February, I think it was, a treatment every week. But now radiation, he's had 4 different treatments of 4 different sessions with 10 treatments each. And that's every day.
So
Yeah,
what's
that
that
was-
do to you? Does it like take you to your knees? I mean, is it like really painful? Does it make you sick? What's it?
I only got sick off of it one time. They got real close with that radiation in my stomach liner,
Burns?
and it just made me sick within like an hour.
Did it burn?
No, not at all. It
'Cause-
wasn't bad at all. I mean, I went in there joking. I had a great time every time I went in with my nurses, but the chemo really took me down. I
Did
mean,
it?
I would come home and I'd be fine that night and the next day, and then that night when I would go to sleep, I would sleep for like 3 straight days without getting out of bed. I mean, my front door would be standing wide open. It could be wintertime. She's calling me. I won't answer my phone. She's running out. My front door stand open. It's 30 degrees outside. And I'm sleeping in the living room, just out of it. Can't move.
Wow. Wow.
It just wore me out. I didn't eat. I went from 260 to 190
That's a crazy diet plan.
with it like that. I mean, that
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, I knew that would do that to you. So
But I mean, I didn't lose my hair. I lost just a little bit, not much.
So you're going through these treatments. You're in, you say February sometime, and I guess the treatments aren't working because they want to try you on something new.
Well, the chemo, he said, was all he was needed on that. But like I say, the radiation. But now, when I say chemo, that was infusion. It went through the port.
Yep.
Since he was diagnosed, he still gets chemo every month, but it's in a shot form. We have to go in once a month. He gets a shot of what they call Firmagon, which is it's supposed to shut down, I think, the testosterone that this cancer feeds off of. But he gets this. It's a very painful shot in his stomach every month, once a month.
It blows up. My stomach like it's got a mini football stuck in the bottom of it for like 3-4 weeks almost until it's time to get the
Go
next
back.
one.
Man, that's
But they were giving me 2 shots, and the other one was Exgiva.
Exgiva.
They would give it to me in the back of my arm. And after, 5 years of that, was it?
About 4.5 years of it.
I started getting, my jaw started hurting real bad.
This
And a
w-
hole just formed in my jaw. And I had bone just
Coming out.
exposed in my jaw, and it was sharding off, and I'd have sharp jawbone poking out, scratching.
because of that shot.
They told me that it would probably,
Yeah, it was something. It was something to do with calcium to help kind of rebuild his bones.
Yeah.
But too much of it, and then you get side effects like this with the jawbone shattering.
The chemo and stuff that they put my mom on, she was supposed to take 15 pills a day, and she did it for 1 or 2 days, and her arms and everything broke out. She looked like she had, was it leprosy back hundreds and thousands of years ago?
Yeah.
She had sores just pop up everywhere, like it was trying to get out of her body, and that's what the doctor said, it's trying to escape. And she was supposed to take 15 pills a day, and she could only take a half of one. That's how potent this stuff is. You're basically putting poison in your body. Is that correct?
yes.
Well, that's what with this new medicine, we did get it approved through the pharmaceutical company that it gets it free, but only for 1 month because they do this. They approve them on a yearly basis.
So you got to
We
apply
have to
next year.
Right.
I've already applied for
Right.
I
next
was
year.
going to say I saw that second post, but okay, so they tell you need to be on a different medication because I guess they thought this might have a better effect on you.
Well, it's not different. It's an additional.
Okay,
This
so
is
it's something extra.
Right. Something extra.
How lucky are you to have the extra medication?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I bet. It's not like having ice cream or something. So your initial sticker shock.
Yes, I had no idea. I mean, no, you hear about this, but until it actually hits you and your family, you just don't realize the impact it has on you.
And we'll get to the amount here in a minute, but we've dealt with families before where the doctors say you got to meet your deductible before we'll do your surgery.
Right.
And the deductible will be $5,000 to $10,000.
Yeah.
And we tell that all the time, but nobody believes us. So your post the other day, what got my attention was what?
The amount? Yeah, $22,000 a month.
A month.
Right.
$22,000 a month for a supply of medication that could potentially save your life.
Right.
And what if it don't work, or what if I have an allergic reaction to it, and I did have to pay that $22,000? So then all of a sudden, I get a new medicine and that $22,000 is gone. I mean, bye bye.
I mean, what do people do? Luckily you got it approved, and you're approved for next year already too.
I've
Applied.
applied. Yes.
Yeah,
They
so
said I'm a shoe in. But,
it's calendar year.
Yeah,
So $22,000 a month. So add that up, Kelly.
can't.
$22,000 a month times 12. So just times 10. That's $220,000 a year.
I think it was
Minimum.
came out to $268 or something like that a month.
So
a year.
I
I
mean,
mean,
my
a year.
question is, luckily you got it approved for this year, but you don't know about next year.
Yeah. No, we don't. We're not.
You have no
100%.
clue. And so my question is anybody in this room, can you afford $268,000 a year to keep yourself alive?
Well, and like you said before, you could sell your house, you could sell his house, you could sell everything, and then what if it doesn't work? Or what
Right.
if at the end of the year, then you have nothing?
Or year 2.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
What do you
working.
do?
We've sold everything we've got. We've emptied our retirement accounts. It's
Yeah.
working. Year 2, I don't have anything else to sell.
Right.
Then what?
Then you're stuck.
Then what?
But you know,
We've lost our freaking minds in this world.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, then
so
they-
ticked off right now.
What was it? She said that if we couldn't get this approved, that
there was
nothing else.
nothing
we can
else.
Do.
No, there was no other pill for this type of cancer.
So
he
I
has.
mean, they were just talking about like she just looked at her and just kind of death.
So what did the doctor say? Okay, here's a perfect scenario. We got this lovely, lovely pill that will help you. It's $22,000 a month, and if it doesn't work, sorry, check
Yeah.
out.
and you know, it's
And
as a mother
you owe $45 on the way out for the office visit.
to tell you this bad
to tell you
news.
this bad news.
Yeah, but, you know, as a mother, you know, when a doctor comes in and tells you, oh, you know, well, of course, when you find out they have cancer, it's just devastating. You know, you'd rather it be yourself. You know, you can't. A mother's job is to protect her child and to keep him from harm and to take care of him. And this was something that was out of my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I've told this story a few times, and what you just said hit me. I was sitting in my mom's house one night, and about 2 a.m, we took turns sitting with her, and she sat straight up in bed, begging me to help her, completely begging me, crying, please, please do something. There's got to be something. But you feel helpless.
You're totally helpless.
That was my mom. I don't know what I would do if it was one of my kids.
Yeah.
And,
It's-
you know, it's knowing there's absolutely nothing you can do. But for a low price of $22,000 a month, you've got a chance.
Yeah.
Think
A
about that,
chance.
people. A chance.
A
It's
chance.
not. It's not guaranteed.
We witnessed a lot of this stuff, but we watched a baby die this year.
God.
And we didn't physically watch it, but we watched the story. And it's absolutely horrible to lose a child, especially a baby. But, you know, the hard thing for me, and I hate to admit this, but when I saw that baby die, my first thing is this young family, do they still have to pay all that money that they paid to have their child treated and it didn't fix them?
Right.
Do you still have to pay that? I'd walk away. I'd say, make me pay it. Sue me. Take everything I've got, because the treatment you gave me had no impact and did not save my child.
Right. It's just, you know, it's devastating. Like you say, it's just when they tell you, okay, yeah, here's your pill that'll do it, but you've got to come up with $22,000, and you think
And it's not guaranteed.
It's a trial.
yeah.
Everything's a trial these days, but there's no discount for it. I'm just baffled. When I saw that number, I've tried to explain this to people, but when I saw your post, I was just shocked.
Yeah.
So,
it hits hard. That's for sure.
yeah. The people that make these decisions that allow this to happen, they're out of touch with reality if they think the average person can afford this. But, you know, I just don't get it. And I'm surprised this hasn't happened, but the movie John Q, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it, where basically a doctor is sitting there telling this man to save their child. It was going to cost them, I don't know, a lot of money, $100,000, for example. Again, watch the movie. I'm wrong, I'm sure. But he said he doesn't have it. And this snide doctor said, well, we're sorry. There's nothing we can do. So you can sit there as a doctor knowing that you can help that person, but unless they write you a check,
Right.
you're not willing to do it.
And you just have to sit there and watch them die then.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
It's sickening.
It is
Yeah,
sickening.
because
It's
nobody asked for this. I didn't ask her this.
Completely sickening that we've came to this.
It is. Something needs to be done.
Yeah.
Some government or something needs to step in.
And take care of
and-
Big Farm.
Yeah.
Big Farm is just, I mean,
Yeah.
they've got a
They're-
cure. I know
They've got a cure, but they're killing people
But
Well,
you can't
wow.
afford
because you
it.
can't afford it.
Yeah, exactly. So why give me a cure that can cure me for, let's say, $10,000, or they can charge me $22,000 a month for the rest of my
Yeah.
God-given life, you know.
On our YouTube channel, we interviewed the doctor that actually originally diagnosed my mom, and he's a super nice guy. But I asked him, I said, do you think there'll be a cure for cancer? And he said, yep, within the next few years. He said, but nobody will be able to afford it. I said, what do you mean? He said, because it will probably be in excess of $1 million. Wow. Think about that.
Then why make it?
I don't know. I probably do know some millionaires, but I don't know anybody that could could do that.
No, the average person can't.
No.
I mean,
you can't even sell your soul to the devil. You know, I mean, it'd be
I
different
know.
if you could do that. You
Yeah.
know, meet at the crossroads or something. You know,
Yeah.
I would definitely do that.
So, all right. So you got approved. Have you started on this new medication?
I started it Monday.
just yesterday.
When will they take tests and see if it's had any impact?
We have to go back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We have to go every 2 weeks. I think she said for 6 months.
Something like
I
that.
think it was 6 months. But then, in addition, we still have to go monthly for his regular treatment.
I mean, when I take it, I have to wear rubber gloves.
They come in the suits and
Pretty much. I mean, like pregnant women.
So
can't
think about what
handle
that's
this
doing to your body on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, when a pregnant woman can't hold 4 pills in her hand because they could give her a miscarriage. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
It's some
pretty
strong
potent stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, when he got the medication, they delivered it to his home, and it came with 3 or 4 pages of.
And stickers all over the box. Don't
Right.
touch, radiation,
I
whatever.
mean, basically the side effects and the cautions and things like this, and I mean, like he said, you have to wear gloves to handle the pills.
I mean, like if I was using the bathroom somewhere, the restroom, I'm supposed to flush twice, sanitize when I'm done because you could come in effect, in contact with it. And I'm like,
Yeah. So he won't be using your
no,
bathroom
no,
today.
no.
I'm just, I know COVID's real, and people are going to be pissed at me, and I don't care. Call me, send me a message. But we've been through this COVID BS, and again, I know it's real. People died from it, but we've been through this COVID BS, and they claim they've got vaccines and cures and all this stuff, and it's free. Why have we not done the same thing for cancer treatments or for diabetes or for
Oh yeah, I'm a type 2 diabetic.
peanut
too.
allergies or whatever? I just don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't.
If you're like me, it's just mind blowing.
It's profits over people.
people. Mhm.
That's going to be
That's
our
it.
new T-shirt. I said that a long time ago. But we're probably
want
going
one
to
of
print some
those.
profits over people. Shirley's way on the back because that's the God's honest truth. That's exactly what it
It's
is.
population control,
Yeah.
just like the COVID is.
Yeah.
They set this out for population control.
Yeah, I don't know. It may be. We could go straight down the rabbit hole on that one, but I just don't understand how we've put so much effort behind this. And I get it. It's real. I know it's real. So don't blast me, but it just makes me sick what we see. Over 600,000 people will die from cancer in a year, but yet we haven't made hardly, and I know we've made progress. So, again, don't take my words and twist them, but we're not making enough progress.
No, not enough at all.
Not enough.
I know the doctors tell us, every day they're coming out with new and supposedly better
Yeah.
medications
That
for
costs
cancer.
$22,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it.
It
It's
doesn't
just-
mean a damn thing
If you can't afford it.
can't
can't
afford it. It's just I don't know. I could go on a soapbox here for another hour, but we got only so much studio time. But
And the thing is, I don't feel like you can be mad at the doctor because he's not the one controlling this.
That's big farm.
It's the pharmaceutical companies that are passing this on through the doctors that,
That's
yeah, I don't
That's
know.
sound
And I think you're right for most cases. But I've read articles, and again, I don't know how to true because you don't know who to believe in the media. It's so jacked up. But I've read articles where doctors were getting kickbacks on chemo treatments and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's true or
Wow.
not. So I think you're right for the most part. I think the doctors just prescribe medically what they think would help. But it's the pharmaceuticals and I think the insurance companies. I get mad at the insurance companies. I had a friend send me a message the other day that works in an insurance company, and I probably made her upset. But stop denying stuff that people need.
That's one thing that does make me mad because if the doctor does prescribe something, here is your physician who says you need this medication, and somebody's sitting over here in a suit
And an 800 number.
Yeah, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to give you that.
Yeah, you're
You're not
getting
covering it."
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't believe what the doctor said.
Right.
right.
It's
I want to
just
say, show me your degree.
Yeah.
Show me that you've gone through medical school. you know.
yeah.
Or you just sit here in this chair and go through the crap that I'm going through.
Yeah.
This has been a long journey for us. Like I say, 6 years, and in addition to the cancer, he's had the side effects of the jaw. He's had
Hip replacement.
hip replacement. The cancer got to his bones. He had to have his hip
So
replaced.
you're 52. So I'm not being rude texting. I'm gonna figure something up because Kelly's not figuring it up for me. So the doctor said, come back at 65, you'll have a beer.
Right.
So just say 13 years. So 22,000 times 12 times just say 14 years. That's $3.6 million at $22,000 a month that if you had to pay by the time you're 65 that you will have paid. Right. So, and I hope you get approved for next year, but what about year 2? What about year 3? Yeah. What about year 4? And it could cost you $3.6 million to live.
For 14 years.
Yeah. Yeah. To get the ripe old age of 65.
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
that's
then I can retire.
The roof over his head, the food he has to eat.
That's just medicine.
That was just medical,
Yeah, that's just your medicine. I mean,
we've lost our freaking minds, people. We have. The insanity is just overwhelming, and the people that make these decisions are completely out of touch with the average person, politician, insurance agent, pharmaceutical. You're completely out of touch with what's going on in this world.
That's true.
To assume that somebody can pay that kind of money to live is just ridiculous. So,
and I don't know how you all feel about this, but he knows how I am. Like I said, as a mother, you want to do anything you can for your child, but then you hear, when they tell you things like this, you know it's out of your hands. And personally, I had to have a talk with God.
Yeah.
And I turned it over to him.
Smack him around a little bit?
I was there was some angry words
I do
in
all
there.
the time.
Yeah. I mean, but I just had to turn it over to him because I can't do it. I can't do anything. And, I have spent more time on my knees in this past month over this medicine than I have in a long time. But thank God, praise God, we did get this approved. But then I think, what about people that can't get this approval?
Yeah.
And what if they deny us next year? It's.
I admire your faith, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
That's the only thing that gets me through.
But I was gonna say, if that's what gets you through it, that's awesome. I'm here to fight for people and
I want to do
hope
that
God
too.
will direct me in the right direction.
That's
but I'm sick and tired of it. I really am.
Personally, Mike, I feel like me praying for this brings people like you. It really does. I mean, that will fight for us and fight for the cause. And I think God's help, that's our answer, or that's my answer.
And I do. Again, I cuss at him a lot. Not trying to be disrespectful or mean, but I do, because I'm looking for the head of the snake.
Right.
I'm looking for the one that's sitting on the yacht in the middle of the Caribbean because they're making all the money off of this stuff. And that's what we're looking for. And I don't know, it might be mafia driven. I might end up dead tomorrow. I hope not. But it's just sad that it's profits over people, and we're going to start selling those T-shirts. I need to see if that URL is available.
Gosh.
Profit over people.
It really is. And but anyway, I had an interesting phone call this morning. A guy called me, and we were planning on doing this anyway, but we'll do a little something different. But he called me this morning, and he said, my family usually has a big Christmas, and this year we've decided that the family is going to raise money to help somebody along the way. So Kelly brought a gift with her today, and we wanted to share this with you. So it's not a lot, but but after the phone call this morning, we're going to double it. So it'll be $1,000. So it'll be $500. We got to be careful how we do this, so to not get taxes and stuff like that. So we're going to do $500 and another $500 maybe in gift cards.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So Kelly will get your info when we're done, and we'll get with the Marys, and they'll make sure this gets taken care of. But
Thank
when
you
Mark
so
and them,
much.
I just thought it was crazy. Mark called me this morning and said, this is what we want to do. So I thought I had already written that one. You can tell it's my writing because it's horrible. So, but yeah, we're going to throw in another $500 from my friends Mark and his family. So.
Thank you
Thank
so
you all
much.
so much.
So
You
again,
just don't know how much that helps.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. But that's what we're here for, and
know,
that's
stop.
what we're trying to do. And we got to spread the word.
Definitely.
But I'm tired of multi-million-dollar corporations collecting money for cancer research, and here we sit about a medication that you can't afford.
Right.
I don't care how much money is thrown at cancer research. If it's not affordable, it's a complete waste of time. Stop wasting our time.
Right.
Stop wasting money. Stop raising millions and billions of dollars. And I'm going to try
Keep
not to go
dragging
on a
me along.
tirade, but I'm just sick of it. People donate to these major organizations for cancer research, cancer this. It doesn't make a hill of beans if people can't afford it.
That's true.
So anyway, we hope this helps some. And thank you for coming
helps
in
a
and
lot.
telling your story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us. And,
we try to tell these stories to try and educate people and to spread the word about what we're doing. So
we'll come back anytime. And
yeah,
you
we'd
know,
like to get an update maybe next year and just see
yeah,
how the
that'd be
medication's
great. And
doing for you.
we're here to volunteer to help you all with anything you all need help with.
Thank you.
Future car shows, you know,
Yeah.
fundraisers, the fair or whatever. You just
Yeah.
keep us in mind, and we're always here.
We'll take you up on it. We'll put you in a wheelchair and let you sit at the table. So you can have a-
Sounds good.
I got an electric scooter.
Kelly, how can people continue to help do what we're allowed to do with this mission of Shirley's Way?
Easy way. Go to shirleysway.org. Sign up to become a $10 monthly donor. The past couple months, we've had several small businesses step up and donate $100 a month, so we're grateful for that as well. But just $10 a month, that's $120 a year, and that could help someone greatly.
Yeah. Well,
Helped
thank you so
me.
much.
It helped me.
Great to finally
Yeah.
meet you all. I was honored
Thank
to meet
you
you
for
all.
having us.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you for having us on.
We'll
Great
get
to finally, because we've been following you on, on Facebook and things, so it's great.
Let's start
Finally meet.
ruffling. We're going to start ruffling feathers here
Let's
soon.
do it. I'll
That's
be
good.
with you.
Thank you all so
I don't
much.
have anything else to do in life.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you all next time. And thank you all.
Thank you.
Till the next episode.
See ya.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.